So I have this book called Japanese Celebrations, Cherry Blossoms, Lanterns, and Stars. And the celebration we are going to look at is New Year. Now, in many Asian countries, they celebrate Lunar New Year, or you might hear it referred to as Chinese New Year. And between all of these New Years, they have a lot of similarities. Now, one thing that's different, it's saying January 1st. Lunar New Year has to do with the calendar, the lunar calendar. But there are some similarities like this. Special foods are prepared, debts are paid, so if you owe something, houses are clean, and decorations are hung. So in Japan, the beginning of this new year really has to do with going to this temple and doing their prayers for the temple. After they are done, and isn't that beautiful? All those colors and the shapes. After they are done, they are going to look for or shop for symbols of good luck and protection. So this is what we're going to focus on, and we're actually going to look at this little guy here, this little Daruma. Now I want you to think of what symbols you might have as good luck or protection. Some people might have a lucky penny or some other object or a four-leaf clover that they think of as being good luck. Now we're going to look at this one, and we can read here, you make a wish on the paint in one black eye. When your wish comes true, paint the other. So that's why only one of the eyes is painted in. So I'm going to put this here to the side, and we're going to be doing a little drawing of a Daruma, but of course you get to change it up. Now this Daruma is red. Red is a super lucky color in a lot of Asian countries. And there are other colors though that mean different things. So if you wanted to color your Daruma purple, that would mean health. So you're wanting good luck in health. If you wanted it to be for love, you would go draw it in pink, or yellow would be protection. So I'm going to do two here. I'm going to start off and do this more traditional Daruma, and then I'm going to change it up and make it into an animal. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw this shape. Can you see how the artist drew this? It is not a perfectly rounded shape. I'm just trying to get a nice kind of round shape filling my page. So I'm going to do it just like that. See, that's not perfect. That's okay. I'm actually going to flip it. Boop. No, I'll keep it this way. Okay, so for this shape in here, this to me looks like a trapezoid, but it's rounded. So I'm going to do the top part, curve it down, and curve together. It kind of looks like an astronaut helmet, doesn't it? And then my little bottom, it's just two little lines, and then I'm going to connect that. Look at that. Okay, so for the face, I'm going to start off with those eyes. Now, if you wanted to draw these things in pencil and then just do the parts that are in black, you can. I'm using Sharpie that you can see it really well, but of course you can do this in pencil. So I'm going to start off with the two circles there in the middle, and then I'm just going to color. Oh, and as I color this in, I'm going to think about what my wish is. I'm going to think about my wish. So when that comes true, I can go back and color the other one. Then I'm going to make my two little nostrils, a little nose, and a little line for the smile. Looks pretty happy, doesn't it? And I'm loving all these black lines. Look at this. It almost looks like little commas upside down. And those get colored in black. And then look at this swoopy line. It kind of swoops around and comes right back, swoops around and comes right back. And these are painted, usually they're painted, so that's why you get those thick and thin lines. So I actually have to go in and color that in with my marker. But they're might be painted with like a calligraphy brush. All right, so now I love the little lines coming off of these coming to the center. So I just go whoosh, 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 whoosh. Bring those in. Look at that. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. It looks a little mad. Maybe if I make the smile come up a little bit more. Maybe round that out a little bit more. Whew. Okay, so now here you can see there is a character. So a character is in Japanese, for example, or in China, that's going to represent a word or a phrase. So I do have some Chinese symbols printed out, which mean different things. So this whole symbol means love, and this whole symbol means beauty. But since the Daruma is a Japanese good luck symbol, I searched for two Japanese characters. One, that's so little, but it says health. And then this one is for happiness. So that whole character means happiness. And so that's what I'm going to put on this one. So I'm going to make it happiness. And you can search for your own. You can type in Japanese character or Chinese character for a certain word, or you might even say, well, I want to write my own word in there, and that's fine. So when I look at this, I'm going to break this down into lines and shapes. So to me, I'm going to start off with this T right here, and I don't want to fill it up too high. I'm going to make a little T, and then I'm going to make a little line through the middle. I'm going to make the thick and thin in a minute. I just want to get this laid out. Then I'm going to jump up to this next line, almost like I'm just making rows, and then another T here, right? And then I've got these lines here where I go boop and boop. Okay, so this is very simple. Now I need to come in and do the thick and the thin. So I'm gonna start off here and make this thick, almost like turning a letter into a bubble letter. And everyone has their own handwriting, right? When you write, it looks different. So in calligraphy, when they write these characters, you're going to have your own handwriting, and some people are really practice to make their characters really, you know, beautiful and accurate. Okay, so I'm going to connect that one. See how that one went all the way down, but that one doesn't touch. And this one kind of gets thick here. So I'm looking at this a lot. You know, anytime I draw something, I'm really looking at what I'm drawing back and forth. If you can see my eyes are going back and forth, back and forth. But, you know, we haven't drawn these, right? You probably are not drawing these characters a lot, so just take your time. Now, I want to be able to remember what this says, so I'm actually going to write happiness down there. You could have written it there as well. And then I'm going to look back here. I'm loving the swirls, and I might just have those an outline, not color those in, so those can be a different color. All right, so I think I might do another one up here. Boop, boop, boop. There's my little Daruma. So now I've got to think, what could my background be? You know, I'm loving the shape of this eye, and I'm thinking, what if I made that the pattern? So this is, and since I'm not going to color them in, so these are all the wishes for the new year that are waiting to be answered. Hopefully what we hope for comes true. Do you see how I'm putting some off the edge? So instead of thinking about them as little eyes floating around, that might be a little creepy. It's just a design. I'm turning it into a pattern by filling my space. Boop, I can have one going behind there too. Okay, so there's my first design. So now I'm gonna work on another one. Now this is the year 2021. So because of this year, I am going to look at the zodiac, and I'm going to see what animal is going to be this year. So I've actually already looked that up, and in this wonderful book, we can look here at our zodiac. So there's a different animal that each year is represented, that represents each year, and the animals have different meanings. So this year, it's actually the ox. The ox is smart, reliable, and sensible. So I'm going to be making my Daruma, I'm still going to use this to look at, as an ox. And I'm going to be putting the word health in there because that has to do with my wish. So I'm going to put, let's see, I can actually put this up here. And I'm going to draw. So I'm going to start with the same thing. Maybe this time, because it's my second time, I can do a little bit better shape on here. So maybe I'm going to slow down. I think maybe I went too fast the first time. So I'm going to do my first shape. I'm liking that better. And then I'm going to do that same thing. Look, curved lines, connect it with a little curved line. Boop. Okay, so I'm going to be doing an ox. And the first thing I want to do is I want to add my horns, because my ox has big horns. And they also have little ears. And look, that was like little moons. Little ears, so little ovals coming off of there. Boop, boop, boop. Now for the eyes, you could do, you know, different eyes if you want. I'm going to keep with the idea of the Daruma, and I'm going to do my 2 circles, make my wish, and leave that one empty. Okay, instead of doing the nose like the regular Daruma, I'm going to put a little snout for my little ox, and I might even add some little cheeks here. Boop, boop. Okay, if you wanted to add like a little tail or something, you could as well. I want mine to look kind of like the regular Daruma, and I'm going to add the little base on there as well. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my health character. This one is a lot more complicated. Now, I would normally do this in pencil first, you know, so then I could kind of fix it, because it would be really easy to draw this like too big and then go, oh, I ran out of room. So I'm going to start with these two lines here. One is going to be shorter than the other one. This one's going to be higher, but not quite as long. And then there's a line coming from almost here down over this way. So I'm going to go there. And then this almost looks like a 3, doesn't it? And it crosses over this. So I'm going to start with this one, up, over, up, over. This has a line going down. Now, when I looked at this originally, you might look at it and go, oh, that's complicated. Like, how am I going to do that? Because you're not used to doing stuff like that. But oh, sorry, I got you bouncy there. Do you see how I'm just breaking it down into lines and shapes? Now look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just have to make 5 little lines to get me started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the first one and the third one are connected. 1, 2, so I'm going to go like that. And then this one goes out further. Boop. Okay, now I can go in and do my thicker parts. This one is thin at the bottom, thick at the top, and almost has like a little piece coming here. And could you do it just like little bubble letters? Sure, you don't have to get the thick and the thin exactly right. I'm gonna come in as best as I can and just thicken this stuff up. It does look good with a permanent marker or black marker if you're able to use one, but we don't all have those, so you can black crayon, color pencil, or another color marker. Doesn't have to be in black. So I'm just gonna go a little bit quicker now, just to kind of thicken this stuff up. Oh, that goes all the way down there. Okay, so now, and again, I'm gonna write my word, and this time I'm gonna write it up here, and I'm gonna write health. And I might make my designs on the side. I'm gonna make that into a 21 since it's 2021. I'm gonna do the same thing. Now, if I did it symmetric, it would be backwards, but I guess I'll do that. I'm gonna go back. That's kind of hard to do, isn't it? A little bit tricky. And I might just make some other lines up this side. Okay, so for this one, I'm thinking about New Year's, and I also want to have a pattern background. So one other thing that is often done at New Year's, both in the United States and in Asian countries, are fireworks. Fireworks were invented in China, and they are definitely a big part of Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year. So I'm going to add my fireworks celebrating in the background here, and I'm going to have them fill up the whole thing. So there are my Daruma drawings. Good luck. Make them your own. You could do any kind of animal in here.